what's the scripture where it's like foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man hath nowhere to lay his head? There's some kind of scripture. I don't know if it's foxes and birds, but it's some kind of thing like animals have places to go, but the Son of Man hath nowhere to lay his head. What if he doesn't literally mean him? Like, yeah, he literally means him likely too. Like, but what if he means all the sons of all the men? Like, the offspring of men, the children of men. We don't have places to lay our head because we're like hoarding it away from each other. We're like charging each other rent and stuff. We're like making sure we don't have, or like some of our brothers and sisters don't have places to lay their heads. Is that a shortcoming of society? Is that like the no poor among you idea? How is that going to get instated? Do we think we're just one day we're just going to be like told what to do? Like Jesus is going to be standing there saying, this is the thing to do? Or is Jesus, when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I will be among you? Or is it like that? I don't know where I'm going. That's stressful. Straight through. Good thing I checked. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like we have some clues. Like, don't have poor among you. Look around, see your neighbor's needs. Love your neighbor as yourself. Look around, see if you can improve somebody else's life who's not as fortunate as you. But I think that's okay. I think it's fine to have wants be on different levels because some people try harder, for real. But like needs, food, clothing, shelter kind of thing, there's probably like a needs chart somewhere people have come up with, because there's likely more than that. But I don't know if some needs are not needs. Like some people say, well, I need whatever it is, the fidget toy or whatever. And it's like, okay, that's not a need though. Like that's a strong want. We can honor that want likely because like it doesn't, as long as it doesn't interfere. Isn't a need though? Because like back when we were in school, we just kind of found our fingernails to freaking fidget with, right? I don't know though. Would my life have been better off having been understood? I don't know. Maybe I would have been exposed to information in like a better way, you know? Could have been cooler. I don't know. Who knows? But I think sometimes when we say needs, like, well, I need to get my hair cut. No, you don't. You can cut that stuff at home. I mean, I come across so judgmental. I'm sorry. I come across very judgmental. I look out and I just judge everyone I'm around. Everyone's doing it wrong. There I am, the only right one, doing it all right. No. Judge myself too, because like it's obvious what the right thing is to do.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Dayton Road, Old Fort Smith and Waldron Road.
We all kind of know what to do. Why don't we do it? What is there holding us back from just loving our neighbor as ourself? The fear that somebody's going to take advantage of us, maybe? The fear of threats? Like
take the next left onto Dayton Road, Old Fort Smith and Waldron Road.
Somebody's going to act in violence against you or something? Like, yes. Those are big fears. I feel like I haven't experienced a lot of that. I feel like the biggest acts...
Continue on Dayton Road for 6 miles.
The biggest acts of violence I've experienced in my life were by those in authority. There to make sure people are being good. And people are going to be good all on their own with their own conscience and stuff most of the time. But here's the thing, what if people aren't good or they're like their community is like interfering with your community in a negative way, like their community is completely sustaining off like your community, like you're out there having a job and their community is just leeching off of your community, like not in a dumpster diving way, but maybe with stealing. Maybe their community is just stealing from you constantly and your community just kind of wants to be left alone. Like, I think if you're stealing, like, you have to be a self-sustaining community. You have to be self-supporting. Like, you can't be sustaining off of, like, hurting somebody else. It's a parasite. That's literally what that is. It would be a parasitic community, but sustaining off another one. But if you were just, like, living off the dumpster diving, I feel like that's a symbiotic community. I think as long as you're not actively harming others and you come up with like some ground rules around what's interfering with other people's personal property or rights of privacy, I think that that is somewhat of a symbiotic community. That could be, especially off a very wealthy, prosperous community with a lot of waste. They don't have time to sort through all that garbage. They don't care. They're just going to throw it all out and let somebody else deal with it. And somebody else could and would want to if it were illegal. Like, whole communities would be sprung up around this. There's moral communities, but then what if little groups of like dissatisfied customers spring up around, you know? I don't know. Maybe that just gets dealt with organically. I mean, if you're causing problems, it's obvious you are. We can't be having problems. Have enough problems just living life, you know. Can't be dealing with extra problems. Can communities exist harmoniously side by side without the rule of law? Romans, right? Jeez. What kind of community is that? That's like the amoeba community. I don't know, taking over kind of community. Who knows? The predatory community. Jeez. Stay in your own lane. What are you doing? Why are you coming to take over stuff? Seems yucky. Okay, what the British did though, they're going and trying to make things better. Like, they're trying legitimately to make things better. Maybe they messed up just by mucking around or by like meddling, but like they were trying to do a good thing. I feel like they weren't like malicious. Maybe somewhere, I don't know. Could multiple communities exist and cohabitate side by side? And if you just didn't worry about what all the other ones were doing, well, there could be some like really dangerous mega communities that crop up that you have to be like dealing with. And is it even wise for there to be a mega community holding all the power? Like, for real, is that even a wise thing? Like, would even a wise thinker in a mega community think that would be wise ever to have just like one that rules them all, right? It just seems a little bit like I don't know, we just seem to be warned against it at every angle, even in movies, like books, I think the Bible, like there's It's just never like a good idea. And we know that about our nature. We're humans. We have human nature. We know our own human nature. We've seen this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. We know we're just no good with like getting to be in charge of somebody else, you know. We're just gonna be in charge of our own selves. Just don't cause problems in your community, duh. Jeez, don't be a parasite. Be symbiotic. See what you can do to help each other. Work together. Love your neighbor. Love your neighboring community. Don't be an a-hole and don't spread germs around. Jeez. I mean, there's courtesies when you're living so close. The other question is, do we own the land? Maybe that is a radical new idea we should explore, of like not owning the land. What if we just don't own the land? What if you could just live where there's space? You're cultivating this amount of land, like you're able to maintain it and take care of it and just like do stuff on it. Like, okay, you're hoarding the land for some unknown reason? Like, no. Let's just give the land back. Who's holding most of the land? Like, let's just stop the hoarding. Let's stop the land hoarding. Like, let's just not own it. Maybe that was a good idea. I heard that was an idea that used to be on this land. Like, there used to be an idea about that it was so preposterous that you could own the land. Like, it was ridiculous. So it'd be like, what exactly are you buying? Or are you like buying with these beads? Like, what exactly is this? Like, this is a ridiculous idea. Is this really what you're asking? And then you come back next year, you know, to use the land as you always do. And they're like, no, get out. You can't be here. It's like, what? Why? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense why not to be friends. So while they might not have had terrible intentions, they were jerks. They were jerks about it still. Our ancestors, you know, who we're supposed to be turning our hearts to, our fathers, and saying, okay, maybe they were jerks. And okay, maybe the other ones had a really good idea, and a better idea about how to live. Maybe we've been idiots. Maybe we should repent of that. Maybe we're sorry. What can we do going forward? We're here now. Maybe let's just tell you what. Maybe we'll stop trying to be the boss of everybody. That could be a step in the right direction, you know. Just let people go where they want. See what happens. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see if people can work together, find a way. Let's just see if people build communities that make sense. And it makes sense without relying on some kind of outside situation to like swoop in. Maybe there shouldn't be an outside situation that's big enough that could swoop in to like so many places and like influence so much. Maybe there has been an error in judgment. We're just so afraid though. We can't stop now. What would happen if we stop now? Like, what would happen? Probably major catastrophes. Probably. But, I mean, how long can we really hold it off for? Is a major catastrophe just kind of like on the horizon anyway? Is it possible we could just like do Zion? Just like hurry and do Zion. Let's just everybody change. Everybody think about it. Everybody try. Everybody just do it. Like, I think the biggest thing holding people back from doing Zion is other people. I don't think the land and the animals and like the trees and crap are holding people back from doing Zion. I think we could live, and I think if people were just kind of thinking about needs and wants community that naturally we'd be thinking about natural resources too. Like, we know enough now about that. Like, we're really smart about that. The whole earth is kind of smart about that. Like, we don't want to just like chop down all the trees, and for some reason, like, people are still dumping sewage in rivers. Why is that? What is that? How come we're not doing that? Like, what do we have that they don't, kind of thing? Why don't we just look at that and see if we can solve that?
In a quarter mile, turn left onto US 71 South.
Maybe literally just solving needs without judgment. Let's just solve needs. Let's just all turn to our neighbors and solve needs. Sanitation, that's probably a need. Like, lack of disease.
Turn left onto US 71 South.
The naysayers, why are they naysaying? You always have to guess that. There's a lot of people who are just naysaying because they're scared of it, or they just doubt that, like, the Jesus stuff is real in their heart. Like, they say they believe in Jesus and, like, go to church and stuff, but, like, in reality, they...
Continue on US 71 South for 3/4 of a mile.
Their actions show, like, 100% doubt that the Jesus stuff would ever work, So, it's like, their words are saying one thing, their lips draw close unto him, but then their hearts are, like, another way. Like, their actions actually show a lot of fear, a lot of different stuff. So there's, like... that's happening quite a bit. It's because, the Jesus stuff is scary. I mean, trust in this invisible thing that's, like, doesn't seem... I mean, like, God sometimes, you don't come through. Tori Amos said that, God sometimes you don't come through. So you need a woman to look after you? Like, what's going on here? What is this nonsense?
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Abbott Road.
Maybe, likely. People don't understand how to have a leap of faith, how to jump, how to do it. I hear a lot of stories about people doing it, and it's like, yes, like the tithing, the principle of paying tithing.
Take the next right onto Abbott Road.
People have made leaps of faith. Where am I going? Where is this taking me?
Continue on Abbott Road for 4 miles.
This doesn't seem right for sure. Do I have faith and follow the GPS? Or do I turn around and go back onto the road that I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with? But maybe this knows something that I don't. It's likely like 0.1 second faster, but it's so windy that it doesn't know that I'm going to go super slow. And like people like don't like to drive down these roads because you're trying to be courteous and not drive past all these neighbors and stuff, Just want to stick to the main roads, GPS. Wyatt can't figure that out is weird to me because it is monitoring everything I say and do, right? It's like, why is everything so broken now? I don't understand. But I know it seems alarming. It seems quite alarming. That everything's broken and I'm being led down a dark and ominous path. I'm instantly freaked out. The GPS is taking me somewhere I don't know. Like, who's in charge of the GPS system? So I'm gonna go look a little more closely at the trail. The path. The crap. Okay, so it's significantly faster, but why has it never suggested this way before? That's another question. Alright, well, here we are. So yeah, I'm super judgmental against everyone because, I don't know, it's just disheartening that things are going so badly, and they wouldn't have to because we have the information. It's almost like nobody's trying. It's almost like if it's for show and it goes on too long, like it just turns into this. Like, when did this happen? When did we all turn it just for show? Just being Christians for show. Is that why the 50s were better? Did people actually care about each other? Like, in their hearts? And somehow then it turned for show? Like, maybe when the shows came on, TV shows, I don't know. But it's been going on for history, right? Forever, the people's hearts. Like, somehow people just lose track of what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know why. Are we figuring it out a little bit, though? Is it like, oh, it's from pain and trauma, it's from how you raise your kids, and we can analyze that now. We have a few decades of, like, research, or, like, noticings. And are we trying to figure out for real, or are we just trying to make money? Because then it, like, goes back to that thing. It's like, maybe we shouldn't be able to own more than we can, like, manage. And the money, let's say the money is something, we'd have to, like, equate it to something. Like, is it the value of about a house? Like, you can have that much. Because, like, we can manage about one house, right? People, humans, we can manage about one house. Should any one person have more assets than, like, what they can actually, like, reasonably manage? Okay, maybe you could manage an airplane, Tom Cruise, but maybe, like, I don't know. Maybe that's also when you look around and see your neighbors and you're like, oh, like, am I managing? Do I have more than I can manage anyway? And are my neighbors lacking? You know, let's get everybody's needs met. Back to the needs thing. Let's just look around, meet needs. I bet you we could solve needs. And we don't have to do it with judgment or anything. We'll just meet needs. Food, clothing, shelter, water. And, like, okay, so if there's a culture that bases its complete existence off just your kindness of need meeting, is that fair? Is that okay? Could people just have their needs met? Is there enough people working that could support anyone who just wants their needs met? Maybe. But it's maybe looking like not as much now. Is that the whole thing? It seems like there's a lot of people needing things that maybe are wants for others, and saying that those are needs and getting those met. And maybe there's people who are just willing to be like, yeah, get my needs met, and that's it. And I'm willing to do that. And then nobody's working, and that can't be sustaining either. So I think if you reach, like, a maximum capacity of needs only getting met, then maybe the whole society is like, well, okay, well, we need to take a step back and let's just meet each other's needs, you know? That could work too. We just all get on welfare, basically, and we just all say, okay, well, we all have needs, and we're all on welfare, we're all in the same boat. Because, like, everyone's like, oh, I hate those people on welfare, those need getting met people. Let's get rid of welfare. That's not fair that they're getting their needs met on my dime, right? Okay, well, get on welfare yourself. well, yeah, well, might as well get on welfare myself and I'll live better. Oh, do it. Let's all do it. Let's all turn to welfare. Let's all do it. Ready, set, go. We're all on welfare. Now we all know that the other ones we're all in the same boat. Now we just need to meet each other's needs for each other. That's the ultimate welfare system, right? That's the ultimate Christ-like system. Those who shall be greatest among you shall be your servants. Serve each other, love each other.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto State Highway 378.
And doesn't it feel better to work for each other, serving each other, loving each other, getting each other's needs met, right? Than working for ourselves, getting our own needs met and hoarding it up. Let's all turn and do that. Turn our hearts to each other. Let's turn and do that. Makes sense. Yes. Get on welfare. Quit yelling at everyone. Jeez.
Take the next right onto State Highway 378.
Get on the boat. Right. I'm turning right now. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit, but now I know where I am.
Continue on State Highway 378 for 1 mile.
Maybe I don't know where I am. I don't even know. I hate this so much. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just turn to our neighbors and just be like, hey neighbor, let's just meet each other's needs, right? Hey, I likely have more than you. Here you go. I don't know though. We kind of need to be thinking about being a little self-sustaining as well. Like getting some chickens is not a bad idea, Not in a panicky way, just in a prudent way, just in like a, it's time we just be a little more self-reliant. Just thinking to be a little more self-reliant. That's what it means to have a free market, is supply and demand, really does. And if it was a really, really free market, supply and demand really, really would rule the day, and that really, really would be better. It's when you become too big to fail.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Persimmon Hill Road.
That you become a behemoth, right? You become a monstrosity. And you gonna cause problems. Wreaking havoc a little bit in the road.
Take the next left onto Persimmon Hill Road.
And if everyone's needs are getting met, so are yours. Behemoth. People in the behemoth, people getting so much, people who have so much more than they can manage.
Continue on Persimmon Hill Road for half a mile.
The poor people do not like that. They do not like that one little bit. The poor people really hate that. You have so much more than you can manage, and you still keep sucking it dry. It's like, the poor people really hate that. I think it would go a long way if all the behemoths just were like, you know what? I'm going to have just what I can manage in a reasonable way, in an actual, average American kind of way. And I wouldn't say average is really the thing we should use, is it? What's the other ones? Mode, median, the one where it's like, let's look at the middle. Where is everybody living pretty much? If you do an average, it's like, well, the average household makes $250,000 a year because we did our math like that. It's like, you're an idiot. Stop. Why are you doing math like that? Jeez. Let's do God math instead. Let's just look at what most everyday people are living. Just average people. You want to take a smattering. I've traveled around hanging out with average people in average ward buildings. You kind of know how people are averagely living. People who are generally going to work every day and stuff. There's other averages in other places, but people are living similarly everywhere. Where I go. even really, really poor people who don't think they're living similarly are living somewhat similarly. Maybe. I think they're worried and stressed out a lot more, though. But, like, as far as, like, living conditions, I'm just saying, for the amount of stuff you're allowed to have. And also, I'd say, like, it would be the standard. Like, what do people consider poverty level, too? So we could also bring some people up. That would make sense. Bring some people down, bring some people up. Obviously, let's just look around at that. So what's the standard everybody thinks is like a reasonable thing, a reasonable amount of work? Like, how many hours should you be working? Should it be a one person work household? You know, if you had two household, how many hours should you be working to provide this type of life? Like, which job? Any job? But is that socialism? Is that communism? It makes sense to do, though. Because it's just like, I don't know. But then what types of...
In 600 feet, turn right.
What do people value? But I just think that would at least give us some kind of metric. Maybe everyone doesn't earn that wage necessarily, but like it gives you a metric for like what you need. Poverty level needs to be risen up and mega living level needs to come down a bit. Like that's obscene. Like there's obscene amounts of like...
Take the next right, then your destination will be on the left.
Maybe the obscene amounts. Because we have like you're like obscenely obese, right? There's obesity and then you're like abominably obese, like obscenely obese. I don't know. There's like a metric for that. Why isn't there a metric for obscenely wealthy? It's like you're just like gross, gross in what you're doing and you just are gross. Like just like let go. Who's going to be the first one to do it? Who's going to have the balls to do that? Donald Trump, right? He's going to be obscenely wealthy and let it go. Grab life by the balls, You just don't even know how to do it, you motherfucker. Like, are you a poser? Are you not as good as, like, Violent J? Violent J, are you going to do it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to be the first one? Right? I have nothing. But I, didn't try for stuff.
Your destination is on the left.
I didn't try for Mammon. I tried for other stuff, Is that an excuse? So I could just live my lazy lifestyle, my slothfulness, my... not trying to be a productive member of society, just trying to find a niche, I want to do the needs getting met lifestyle. Kind of. Like, I like to provide value, though. I like to create things. I would be fine with just my needs getting met. If I just had a place to go. Food, clothing, shelter. I don't know. Maybe we should contribute more than that. Because what I feel gross about just getting my needs met by other people working to support me. And if they didn't agree to that, that's a supply and demand thing. It's like, you have to find a niche too. That's life. That's survival. That's just life, Every species, everything has to find a niche. Right? That's just normal. So like... I don't know, maybe we should put a cap or a reins on it. Is that fair? I mean, it might not be fair, but if we don't limit stuff, sometimes things get out of control and grow in a weird way. Like maybe when you're growing like a tree, you prune it so that way it doesn't grow all crazy in a weird way, like broken branches and stuff is not catastrophic. Like the wild and free way is cool though. And you go better places. But if we have a mega society, maybe we want to cultivate it a bit so it doesn't get all crazy. Maybe it does cause problems or split in half. Like the whole tree could die, who knows? Are these metaphors even applicable? I think they are. I kind of think something radical has to happen though. Maybe something with the money. Maybe people need to let go of that. Maybe people just need to be Christ-like or something. Or like, hey, I'm going to show I'm Christ-like in my actions, though. I'm not just going to draw close to him with my lips. No, I don't know anything. I wouldn't know if it kicked me in my face. I don't know anything. Man, this is the best song. I don't know if it's coming through on the recording. I don't know. It's so good. This might have been the song that made me think. I really love ICP. For the first time. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Terrible. I don't know if it came through. I better stop talking. I need to go get milk. But yeah, let's just try to turn our hearts to each other and love each other. Let's turn our hearts to our fathers and apologize to each other for the atrocities that our forefathers did and celebrate their accomplishments. There were some good things that came out of it. We made peace with it. We can move forward. We can move forward in love in Zion. Was it Satan will be loose for 2,000 years? Or bound? It'll be bound for 2,000 years. Do we have to go through the terrible part first? Like the refiner's fire? Ugh. Maybe. Let's just keep hope, though. For these things must come to pass. Let not these things trouble you, or something like that, because these things have to come to pass. Be not troubled, for these things must come to pass. So don't be troubled. Let's just get through it. Let's just put our head down and get through it. But let's try to do it in love. Let's try to show love, like the anti-Nephi Lehis, but like maybe do we have to be that balls out? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm telling you this. When the carnival comes to your town, I'm going to be down with the clown. That's... let's be down with the clown, I don't know if literally, though, if juggalos are coming through your neighborhood, you want to be scared. I don't know if that's the time to do anything crazy. I don't know. That would be a crazy time. That would be a really crazy time. I don't know if that would be Christ-like. I don't know if that would be a thing to do. I don't know. I think the thing to do would be to do the actual scary Christ-like stuff. I think it's not that scary. I think it's not that scary to you to go out destroying things. I think it's more scary to try to build and be vulnerable. I think that's the scarier thing. One reason I love ICP so much, I feel like they show they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable throughout their stuff. They show their vulnerabilities, their different sides, But it's scary to be physically vulnerable, to not steal, to live the commandments and just know that you're I don't know, doing the right thing. Or do you call out sin when you see it? Do you do that? Or do you hold your tongue and not call out sin when you see it and your brother's sinning? Do you get the beam out of your own eye first before you get out that speck? Do you worry about your beams? And just not even worry about the specks in your brother's eyes? Am I doing the right thing? Calling out sin when I see it, just calling it out. Do we need to talk about this at some point? Maybe. I feel like it's just, we need to talk about the horrible things that are happening so people know about what's going on. And we could be like, oh my gosh, let's just not do this stuff. I don't know. Let's not be hypocrites. If you're really Christ-like, let's do the Christ-like things. Let's love our neighbor as ourselves. Let's turn around and see all of our neighbors' needs and wants. I don't know. Is that what people are trying to do, though? Oh, this keeps going on. I can see people in their community being like, I belong to this church, we do this stuff, I'm in this community, we don't have any poor people around us, we're doing the stuff. We're reaching out to other communities, what more can we do? And I don't know. People seem to think there's more that we could do, though. feel like I got a taste of it at the jail. Like when you're actually, here's the thing, when you're on the outside looking in, it's like, what else could we do? But when you're in on the inside looking out, it's like, well, I mean, it's really freaking cold. Has anybody tried to like do this? Like, did you get like a group of guards and like put them in there in those clothes like for that long and just see if that was okay? Like, but you have to put in the other factors too and determine like the time. Because if you're like, oh yeah, they did it for 5 hours or 3 days, they did it for 3 days. Did they have all the same conditions? Like, I just feel like there's a lot of factors at play too. Even so though, did you do it for 3 days? If you did, I could be wrong. Maybe that's not inhumane. Maybe I'm just a giant crybaby. Maybe I'm just a whiner. But I think other people have seen it too. I think there's like stories and stuff about the ICE situation. Like, what is the ICE situation? Are we putting people in inhumane conditions? Are we like doing cruel things to families? Like, I don't know. Should we look at this with a panel of judges and just say, is this cruel logically? Because we don't want to like actually hurt people. But our country is suffering a bit. Like, we can't afford like our own crap. Like, why are we prospering so much in the land? Like, it's kind of the same land, isn't it? Do we take the best land? I mean, New England is pretty crappy land, right? Salt Lake is crappy land. It's the desert. We chose it because it's crappy. We're going to be bothered there, right? It's protected by giant mountain ranges and it's desert. It snows in July. It snows year round, you know, in the mountains. Like, it's formidable. Nobody wants to go there. It's not that good, but like, we really did some stuff with it, you know? Do we deserve to have that? Or should we just like be like, okay, we'll share just because we did like better than everybody else? That doesn't seem fair. We will trade, but we also don't want you to like come over and try to take it like by force. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to say the word invasion because that's going to like cause a lot of people to have a ruckus. And if you want to just say people are allowed to move around wherever, I would probably just get on board with that. I think that that's probably the better idea. When I found out as like a teenager that you couldn't just go country to country, that you had to have a pass. They had to approve the pass. And I was like, well, that's crazy. Why can't you just go places? Why is any place restricted? That is crazy. But it goes back to the owning land idea. And then I was like, should that even be a thing? I've been pondering on this for over 20 years. Like, should we even own land? Like, it makes more sense to just own the land that we can use. And it goes back to like not owning more than is reasonable, like evening things out a bit. And I think if we did that, I think if there was no poor among us, I think it would be better. I think people would be more inspired to be more productive too. I think it's very disheartening sometimes, the situations people are in. And we could go a long way to change that. I think if we just actually cared about people, it would go a long way to change that feeling of despair. Alright. I don't even know what I'm saying to do. Just general ramblings about trying to make things better, trying to think of a way it could be better, also relating it to the Bible and other philosophical ideas, understandings, trying to be a bridge between communities because, like, there's obviously a disconnect between rich and poor. Jesus talks about it, rich man, I am the needle situation. Just lots of stuff, lots of very obvious stuff on either side. Also lots of stuff like, yeah, what is opportunity? What does it mean to like be productive and live in a culture, live in a society, live in a community? What are our communities we live in? That kind of stuff. Just some ramblings. I don't know. I hope it made some sense.